Colorado is picking up the pace.
We are updating and entering in many parts of our state Phase 1B.
More people are eligible for the vaccine, but there are plenty of questions about how they'll actually get it, from people who want the shot and people who give it.
Plus, Colorado leaders are working hard to contain the UK variant of the virus, which was just discovered in our state.
This new variant can be transmitted more quickly and more highly.
And what it will take to move out of crisis mode and start returning to normal life.
We really have the opportunity to reduce coronavirus deaths by almost 80% in our state, and a similar decline in hospitalizations.
And Denver police reveal new information about the body parts found in a suitcase along the Sanderson Gulch path.
It's scary. It's 2 suitcases with body parts.
We will address as many of your questions about the vaccine rollout as possible over the next few minutes. But we begin with the latest on the COVID variant found at the Good Samaritan Society Assisted Living Center in Simla, an Elbert County town nearly 2 hours southeast of Denver Metro.
State leaders confirmed 1 case yesterday, and then today said there is another highly suspicious case, which could also be the variant. Tests are ongoing on that. Both patients are Colorado National Guard members deployed to help the staff at the Assisted Living Center. And they both arrived 1 week ago today.
The person with the confirmed case is quarantining at a home in Arapahoe County. The person with a suspected case is at a Lincoln County hotel. Neither traveled out of the country before their positive tests.
The tests were conducted today to see if this UK variant has spread to anybody in the Simla Assisted Living Facility. Now, they have an outbreak there. All 26 residents have tested positive for COVID at some point, and 4 have died. More than half of that facility's regular staff have caught the virus as well.
Denver7 chief investigative reporter Tony Kovaleski joins us now. Tony, how is the state going to contain that variant?
Yeah, Jessica and Shannon, containing this new strain means understanding it. We learned today health experts are still gathering information. Clearly, it's now the state's top COVID priority.
There's a lot we don't know about this variant.
Colorado's governor speaking candidly less than 24 hours after the state's lab was the first in the country to identify a confirmed case of COVID-19 variant B117.
It's not uncommon for a virus to mutate or change.
The virus variant was confirmed in a member of Colorado's National Guard and suspected in a second member of the Guard. Both have not traveled internationally, but both were deployed to that assisted living center in Elbert County, the center dealing with an outbreak.
Right now, we are currently investigating 2 possibilities for how these individuals may have acquired their infections. We have deployed a team to the facility that was done yesterday to collect specimens from staff and residents in that facility.
The B117 variant adds new complications to the worldwide battle against the pandemic, a bit of a game changer in Colorado and around the world.
Early evidence seems to show from the United Kingdom that this particular mutation might spread more quickly.
It appears that this vaccine, we estimate, will be just as effective for the new variant as it was with the old.
We are looking at case numbers, but still all the same precautions need to be taken. People should just be more diligent about taking those precautions as we find out how prevalent this strain is in Colorado.
Health experts stress a virus mutation is not unusual, and we can expect even more mutations in the near future. Governor Polis reminding everybody with the new strain in our state, it's more important than ever to wear a mask, socially distance, and take all safety precautions. Shannon?
That's right. All right, Tony, thanks for that. Now, 80% of states' ICU beds tonight are in use, and 1,150 hospital beds are in use by patients with COVID or COVID symptoms. And that number has really plateaued since Christmas. Our death toll passed 3,900 today as our state confirmed another 98 deaths due to COVID-19. And the rest of the country really is not seeing the same progress that we have seen in Colorado.
More than 3,700 deaths were reported in the U.S. yesterday. It was the largest single-day death toll since the start of the pandemic. L.A. County remains one of the hardest hit areas. Hospitalizations are up 1,000% from where they were 2 months ago. Some hospitals are running low on beds, staff, and oxygen.
If we can't keep an adequate supply of oxygen, patients are going to die. We have plenty of ventilators, but if I run out of oxygen, the ventilators are worthless anyway.
Now, take a look at this. In Florida, vaccines were being given to seniors on a first-come, first-served basis. So they lined up like it was the grand opening of In-N-Out. Some brought lawn chairs. Others actually jumped out of line because they were worried about catching the virus from being around so many people. Colorado has given out more than 82,000 doses of the vaccine tonight. The big announcement today is that many communities will move to phase 1B of the vaccination process, which opens up for people over the age of 70. The country is far behind its vaccine goals. Officials wanted to vaccinate 20 million people by New Year's Day. The U.S. isn't even 20% of the way there. But Governor Polis says Colorado was ahead of the pack.
We are and remain, I think, the top 4 or 5 states for vaccines administered per capita, per population. We're very proud of that. We want to build that lead. We want to be number 1.
Now, phase 1B is going to be critical. People over the age of 70 account for 70% of hospitalizations and deaths. And if they're vaccinated and protected, well, it's going to reduce the stress on our hospitals.
The governor said this is the key to moving us out of crisis mode. Denver7's Jason Grenauer explains how the state plans to deliver those vaccines.
People 70 and up can get the vaccine. We hope to complete within 4 to 5 weeks the first dose of the vaccine for 70 and up.
Governor Polis making that big announcement earlier this morning, prompting a lot of questions, including how that rollout will work. Well, seniors, you aren't alone with those questions. This tweet from Boulder County Public Health reads, "We were just made aware of the changes ourselves. We will notify the public as soon as we have a plan." Summit County had a plan for online appointments for a small group of 75 plus to get the vaccine. They expanded theirs to age 70, but online appointments are already booked. We called and emailed 6 other large county health departments. None came back with any major rollout plans.
You can ask for availability in your local hospital or community health clinic.
But one hospital system tells Denver7 that seniors should instead sign up for accounts with their hospital so they can receive electronic invites to get the vaccine as they become available. While we're still waiting on details of how, we have multiple calls and emails out to the state, the governor did answer one why. Why this age group?
78% of the fatalities from COVID-19 were 70 and up. We wanted to target that larger group initially to reduce fatalities by 78%.
We will continue to ask your questions and bring you answers as soon as we get them. I'm Jason Grenauer, Denver7.
Now, this is a horror story. Human remains packed in suitcases and dropped off along the Sanderson Gulch path in Denver's Marley neighborhood.
We called Denver police at 10 this morning looking for answers, and it took them 6 hours almost to give us any information. But a press conference just wrapped up in the last half hour. Denver7's Lance Hernandez was there. This is gruesome, Lance.
It really is. Now, police say they don't know how the individual died, but they are treating it as a homicide. They say the remains of a recently deceased adult white male were found discarded in 2 suitcases.
From what I understand, they were actual real body parts, which is definitely quite scary and quite concerning.
Neighbors, like police, want to know whose body parts were in these suitcases and who put them there. Investigators believe the suitcases were dropped off Monday evening or sometime overnight. Parks and Rec employees found them Tuesday morning while clearing snow from the Sanderson Gulch path along South Java Way. One of the employees apparently opened a suitcase and saw a foot.
It was very unnerving, to say the least.
Candy Romero learned about the remains when police started going door to door.
And I opened the door and just saw all the police cars out here, and they had a crime scene tape from our tree to there.
A neighbor who asked to remain anonymous asked the officer who came to her door whether the victim was male or female.
He did mention that it's hard to tell when the body parts are wrapped, but a foot looks the same if it's a male or female. So basically, he couldn't tell me.
Working with the medical examiner's office today, we confirmed that the items inside the suitcase were in fact human remains and the remains of a recently deceased adult white male.
Investigators are still trying to determine the circumstances surrounding the man's death, as well as how he ended up near the gulch along South Java Way.
Sad, very sad. I hope that they catch whoever did that.
Now, police don't have the identity of the victim just yet, who that victim is and how he died. will be determined by the medical examiner's office. In downtown Denver, Lance Hernandez, Denver7.
A little snow showing up in the high country over our holiday weekend, but will we see any here in Denver? I'll let you know.
Plus, we'll explain how the stimulus bill could protect our climate.
And another Colorado county will loosen restrictions on some businesses.